Welcome back to the Daily Trading Journal. As always, this is for educational entertainment purposes only. This is the musings of my journal as I am learning to day trade, and what a day it was. At first, I thought, man, there's not really a lot looking like it's moving. There were a few major gap ups, dollar value gap ups on a few above $10 stocks, and I thought, that could be very interesting. But what I was concerned about is if those would break down very quickly. Now, they didn't end up breaking down, but they just kind of slowly grinded up. Let me see if I can find one of those for you really quickly. I think it was ALBU. So you had this huge gap up on LABU from about 620 all the way up to almost $7. That one wasn't as big as some of the other ones I was seeing, but it just basically gapped up, kind of cut back, and it's just slowly making a grind up now. So I was like, okay, nothing really exciting is happening. Traded a little bit of TMF. From the open at about 720 all the way up to about 727. I finished that one. I am more of a momentum trader. I try and get in and get out very quickly, take those fast, predictable moves once they're moving, and then take the profits, take, kind of the bulk of the move. So where I made most of my percentage today, I ended up let's see, was it 20% on the day? 20% on the day. Where I ended up with most of my profit percentage-wise was FSRD. This was the picture-perfect gap and go setup for me personally. What I was doing is I was looking for a breakthrough of the pre-market high at roughly the 21 mark. I ended up getting in right before the breakthrough at 1957, roughly. Let's double check here. 1959, so right about as it was breaking through at 1959, so right there. So it was just about breaking through that pre-market high. Got in a little bit early because I wanted to get the jump through the pre-market high. Now, that is a little on the risky side for the plays that I'm playing, these pre-market gap and goes, because sometimes it taps it and then just drops. But this one had really good momentum pulling in. And so I just got in a tiny bit early so I could kind of give myself some cushion in case it did push through, have a short pullback, and then keep going. But it did not. It ripped right from 19, where I entered, about 1950, all the way up to 26 cents. Now, again, this was a fantastic move for me. I was very excited to ride this huge 1 minute candle. This went up, I think it was over 30% in a minute. That kind of made me nervous. So I sold right as I saw the weakness kind of playing out, and I sold at 23.80. Now, that was a bad move in hindsight, always 2020, because we ended up ripping up to almost 30. And then if I would have held obviously a little bit longer, we had a further rip up past 30. And then now we're seeing it break down. And, after this point, I don't like to play these because I usually just start giving back tiny profits. And I did that. I tried to play. I got a little greedy and I ended up giving back 2% of my profit on this play. What I should have done, and I'll show you one of the moves here that I wanted to make, but I was too afraid to make it. It pulled back here from this 28 cent day high to about 25, and I thought that's holding really well. I should go in right there at that 25. I was going to go in right after this red candle finished at 25.23, and that would have been a fantastic move. At minimum, I could have claimed 3 cents profit, which I think was around 20. No, not 20%. It was at least 10%, the extra that I could have claimed. But I got afraid. And so instead of doing that, I went in at 29 as it was poking through. And of course, that is one of my biggest problems. I failed the tap trap, as I like to call it, to basically where the stock taps a new high and then rips back. And because it was at a point where momentum had slowed down. Now, if it was right here, In this spot, grabbing a new high, I could have got in and, rode up that new high. But once momentum slows down, the tap trap is inevitable. And so that's something that I really have to keep in my mind, is that when there's momentum, when there's volume, you're fine to buy the high and ride it higher. But as soon as as soon as I see the volume slow down, I have to reorient my mind about what that stock is currently doing, not what I want it to do. So very happy with the 20% that I captured. With a little more patience, we could have been in the 30s or even the 40% range, and that would have been even better. But again, I really am aiming at small base hits right now, and so that is what I'm looking to capture. Takeaways for the day would definitely be, don't get into stuff when it's not your play. Seems pretty obvious, but I kind of came to the market today looking for a move, and so what happened was I kind of fussed around with LABU for just a few in and outs, didn't really make or lose anything. It was just like, oh no, that's not moving, that's moving, that's not moving. I was just like ding, 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 ding. And it was just foolish trading. And then once I saw the setup for FSRD, I thought, okay, there's my setup. That's what I'm looking for. Went in, nailed it, made the profit, and then I can move on. I don't like fighting consolidation. I literally mean fighting, because that's what it feels like. On Tuesday, I think it was, I made 7% profit, but I felt like I fought throughout the day. And let me show you, if you didn't catch that journal, I just really fought throughout the day for some profit, and that was just foolish trading. Yesterday was much better. Only had 3 losers, and today was the best of the week. I only had 1 loser on FSRD. So punch for punch, I'm really happy with the trading today, outside of needing to hold the winners longer. So 3 main things: hold the winners longer. Especially when it's a strong setup, especially when it's moving, it's making newer highs, it's making higher lows, and it keeps moving up. Could have captured much more percentage on this day. Watch for the tap trap, especially once it starts consolidating. Those tap traps are nasty, and they will pull you away from your percentages very quickly. The tap trap on FSRD, if I would have held on to it, it could have lost me 10, 15%. Luckily, I saw it, saw what I did, got out quickly, and moved on. And as you can see, this made this 30 cent, 0.306 high, and now it's cut all the way back down to 25. It will most likely not make a move higher. I'm guessing it will continue to break down throughout the day. And this is where the quote unquote bag holding happens, right? Like, this was the move you wanted to be a part of this morning. You don't want to find it here. You want to find it when it's, gapping up and making its move. Again, not financial advice, just the musings of my mind for educational and entertainment purposes only. And, a lot of us would love to find it, when it's way back here. But that's just, to me, pretty unrealistic. So, I didn't show you, of course. I never show it when I need to show it. We'll get there. Again, working on these journals. So, of course, we'd love to find it when it's down here at 10 cents. And then, we sell it when it's up here at 30. Of course. But I think it's pretty unrealistic to try and predict stocks. In my opinion, I'm looking for stocks that are moving, and they're predictable moves once they're moving, not predicting what will move. And so FSRD, I've never traded this. I've never even heard of this stock, but there was a predictable move that was going. If it made its move, which is the breakthrough, the pre-market high, I anticipate that will rip higher for a short period of time. If it doesn't, I cut my losses quickly and I move on. But this one proved itself out and did very well. Same with TMF. Broke through the pre-market high, kept riding, and went up about 20 cents. So, you could have made 20 cents on that trade. So again, I look for predictable moves and patterns, and it was a clear indicator to me on FSRD for a good rip. And not luckily, I hate to say the word luckily, it was right. And if it wasn't, cut my losses quickly and move on. And so I was really excited about that play today. I'm just going to kind of keep an eye on it for the rest of the day, see where it goes, see where it breaks down. But that's it for me for the week. On Monday, continue to cut my losses quickly on stuff that's not following through on the plan. Hold the winners longer. Not obviously too long. I would have sold here because I only rode this candle. That's literally all I did. And, for me, there is a bit of a fear of like, it will pull back. However, the things that usually pull back are when it's before my plan fully goes through. All right, it's testing VWAP right now. I'm curious if it's going to break down or if it's going to, bounce off of there. Let's see. We had a match candle. I think it's just going to keep breaking down. Apparently, this stock is bankrupt or bankrupting. And so that's why there's just like a lot of attention on it. I'm not sure. I'm not a fundamental trader. I don't follow those things. Go off of the technical patterns, personally. All right, so rules for next week. Cut the losses quickly. Hold the winners longer. Watch out for the tap trap. My goodness. And follow through with my plan. If I have a plan to trade a gap and go, don't trade it until it proves itself to me. I don't need to guess. I will say a lot of the chart patterns or a lot of the mistakes that I made earlier this week was guessing. I was guessing where these stocks were going, not following where they were going. Follow for favor, force for failure. That's one of the things I keep telling myself when I'm in the day's trades. So that's the Trading Journal. Again, educational entertainment purposes only. If you enjoyed this, drop it a like, subscribe, because I'll be doing these daily. I trade 4 days a week, Monday through Thursday, and hope you join me on future episodes. See you on the next one.